Hello, welcome to Wardrobe School. I'm Vanya. In this class, I'm going to show you how you can use your sewing machine to embroider lettering on fabric, okay? And a lot of people ask me, what kind of sewing machine do you use? What sewing machine is that? And I just want to encourage you to do with the sewing machine you already have because most sewing machines can do that, okay? If you want to learn more in details how to do this work and all different kinds of free motion stitching with your sewing machine, join my course. The link is right below here. Hey, and please make sure you subscribe, give a like, and leave a comment if you have any questions or if you have a comment or just say hello, all right? I just want to tell you how this machine is actually, and yeah, you can see how I'm in a different scenario today. It's because I'm in the middle of the jungle in Brazil in the Amazon, and this machine I bought is a very old, like it's not that old, but it's an old Singer. It's probably from the 80s, I think. Very simple. It only does zigzag and straight stitch, and it was actually sitting in the shed here for 2 years, which is not a regular shed. It's like a crazy jungle shed, like where things can grow from it, and that's why it's always stained. But then I took it, cleaned it, oiled it, and it works. So, and I added a motor because I bought this machine on a treadle, but then with the motor is now great to embroider. All right, so let me show you how we can do the lettering. I just wrote text on this fabric, and I'll show you. Here we go. So, and yes, I do remove the foot. Also, don't mind my nails because I forgot to redo it. I don't use any foot. I just remove the foot. But if you're a total beginner, you can use a darning foot for that, all right? And here is the text that I wrote. I did that on Canva and transferred to the fabric. So first, we're gonna just keep on straight stitch, and my machine has like a lever here, which when people ask me what's the best machine to do this, I like to tell you that the best machine is the one you have, but then the next one is an older machine because it's simple. And also, if it has a lever, right, one of those buttons that you can switch from straight stitch to zigzag with ease, that's the best way because as you embroider, you can see how, if you don't have to like push a bunch of buttons and stuff, it's easier. But you still can do if you need to push a bunch of buttons, all right? So I'll first do a straight stitch, and I like to bring the bottom thread up first. And you can do that, or you can avoid this step if you want. I like to contour the design with the first with straight stitch. Let's see. Okay, so I'll do the other letter as well. And because it's free motion, you can just stitch any direction, right? That's the fun part. I usually, so in my course, I teach a bunch of ways of how to transfer the design to fabric. And in my studio, I have a lot of ways, my tools and stuff. Here, I don't have much stuff. I had to do one of the tricks that I do. So the lettering is not perfect, but you can do much better if you do transfer really, like with a transfer pen or something, okay? The reason I like to stitch first with straight stitch, it's one because I like to see the design very clearly when I come with the zigzag, but also because it gives more volume to the stitch, and it's for lettering. It's kind of cool when it has a little texture, when it's like puffed a little bit. I don't know how to call. All right, so I contoured it all, so then I go and cut the extra threads. And now it's when you do the zigzag, right? So I'm gonna switch to zigzag and first see how it's narrow there. So I'll do a narrow zigzag on the tip of this letter. Sometimes the bottom thread comes up for some reason. I don't know where, but it's better actually. So I'll see if, see it's very narrow. Then I'll widen up a little bit. A little more, and you can test, right, and see. And then I just cover. See here, I know it's gonna be wide, so I go all the way. Then we're gonna reduce the width, and that's it. I do this edge here just to fix it. Now move on to the E. And I did these two types of lettering. I'll show you how I do the other one. The idea is like to keep always the hoop in the same direction, just like with hand embroidery do, right? But then if you want to do, sometimes you want to turn the position. So there it is. And it's a game with the width of the zigzag. Go up. All the way. And that's it. You just want to cover the area, see? And move your hoop accordingly. See, now it's too wide. I have to reduce. And here I'll go sideways, look, to cover. Right? Then I can start up there with the same width. Cover the tip here and then go down. Do a little straight stitch. Now the little circle, it's also fun to do, but then it's a little tricky because you want to do round, right? So you can cover, move your hoop around, and then you cover all areas, and then it looks like a circle, see? This one I'm gonna go from below with a wide zigzag, and then I go up, reduce the width a little. This one is not very wide, so I'm gonna go here. Then this is very, very narrow. I'm gonna cheat here. Just turn a little bit to cover that part and then come back and a little wider. It's gonna be real wide. And voila, we did one word. Now the machine is the same type, so I'm gonna do this the same way, and then I'll show you how to do this one. My hoop is hitting here at the side, so I can't go to the right anymore, so then I just turn around and go in a different direction. it started raining. I'm in the jungle. Remember, it started raining, so I'm gonna have to pause and continue later just to make sure it doesn't rain on my computer. I am under the cover here, under the roof, but you know, it might rain. So I'll be back. Okay, I think it's fine. I put a plastic over my computer. Another circle here. So the circle, you just go around and make a circle with the zigzag, you know what I mean? Look, to make the dot. All right. Now this one is a different letter type, so I'm gonna have to turn the machine, turn the hoop sometimes different directions. Some people are really good at this and they can do without turning it, but I like to turn, so I'll show you how to do, okay? The easy way. And because the lettering has the same thickness all around, it's easier. Just keep the zigzag at one width and you can keep going. So here it is. I'm gonna start from the Y here. I wanna check first how wide is my zigzag right now. Look, it looks like it's very good for this letter. So here we go. I just go. And one thing is when you're doing, you know, I was doing this slow for me, like I have this camera and all here. So I'm not in a perfect position. But when you are, to have a better result, you make sure when you move the hoop, you be consistent with it. And also one good thing that you can do is to do faster, right? Of course, you have to have experience, but after you have experience, when you do the zigzag faster and keep the hoop consistently moving, the look of your work will be better. So this one I didn't stitch around like I did on the sewing just because of the video, but you know, if you want, you can go around and then just contour the design. Here, because I had this issue, I'll do it later, but I should stitch zigzag. I should stitch the straight stitch just to lock in the stitch, but it's okay. I'll lock in with the zigzag here, and then I go fast. I just don't want to change the zigzag, the width of the zigzag, you know, and I keep the same. So I keep the same position, look here, and then I go up. And come back a little to lock in the stitch. And then the R, I'm gonna go from the bottom, same hoop position, go back and forth just to lock in the stitch and go. Now the R is a little weird, right? Because it's this way. So then I turn, and I could even go sideways a little bit so I keep this bias cut here. It's not bias cut, it's bias direction, right? Diagonal. There it is. Now the E, I can go like this, or I could go like this. For instance, I'm gonna start from this part because it should, even though when I drew funny like this, but I should make just one straight line there, right? So look. I go all the way there. And then now, just like I did with the R on the diagonal, I go like this. And this is the hardest one because like doing a circle, you have to turn the hoop as you go. Look. Keep turning. And then obviously you can do too fast here, right? The stitching. And there it is. Now the G is easy, right? Because one, but then there's a circle. So one from up to down. It's like a column. Now I go a little sideways, diagonal. And keep on going. And here, look, I'm gonna do the corner there on this position. Right? Okay, this next one is the easiest one. Circle or little dots. Now a very hard one, that's the O, because you have to be turning the hoop around, right? Do a little bit and turn. Little bit and turn around. Look, kind of looks like a circle. Another R. Now I started from the top. Go back and forth. You can go up there. And let's see how I'm gonna do it. Like here. Just a little turn. And you can play with the position. All you need to do is to fill in the, cover the design and you're good. Here. And this is all because I'm not, you see, I didn't touch the change of the width, right? The zigzag. So I'm working with one zigzag width. And if it's not all filled, you just go back and cover it. Look, like that. There, I can go down from here, and then come back. And the E, that's the most, the one that you need to turn the hoop the most, right? So go one direction. Remember to lock in the stitch. Then just walk there. And finally the column. You know, go straight stitch to lock in. And look, you can also see how it's a little, it's not like super perfect on the edges, right? If you want like a very perfect outline here, you can always contour, like outline with straight stitch, which I don't tend to do, but a lot of this, embroiderers do. You can also contour with another color, like golden or silver. Look, I'm doing this one just to show you, okay? It just like evens out the edge, the outer edge, and then it also fixes little mistakes you did. Look, and this is it. And here it is. Isn't it cool? So I hope you like it. I hope you try it for yourself. And if you need to learn from the beginning how to do this, how to set up your sewing machine, and plus a lot of other techniques like reverse applique, other monograms, and different stitches for free motion embroidery, go to the link below and join my course. It's online. You take it at your own pace, and then you're going to make amazing art pieces with your sewing machine. All right. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.